Good evening and welcome. Call this regular meeting of the Fairborn City Schools Board of Education to order, Thursday, November 7th, 2019. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I love hearing all the kids.
Mr. Philo, please call the roll.
Mr. McCourt. Mrs. Malad.
Here.
Ms. Reister.
Present.
Mr. Browning.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here. I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Reister.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Browning. Any comments, questions?
Ms. Reister.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, motion carries. I have a motion to approve the minutes of the Thursday, October 3rd regular board meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Malad.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Browning. Any additions, corrections?
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes.
Ms. Reister.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, motion carries. Move on to board member reports and good of the order. Ms. Reister?
All right. Well, last night was National Honor Society induction here at the high school, which was a lot of fun. My favorite part is hearing the students talk about why they chose the teacher that they chose to pen them, just because, you know, it helps to drive home the point that teachers do make a difference. Homecoming parade was a lot of fun. It's always fun to see all of the people on the streets waving and participating. Trunk or treat at Fairborn Primary was, well, it was interesting because it's usually outside, but it was pouring rain and it was a gross day, but the staff did an amazing job bringing it inside, and I think the kids had fun. So it was an amazing turnout. So thank you to everybody involved in that, start to finish, making that successful. Let's see. I wanted to congratulate the board members and our new board member. And I also want to congratulate her because she also just got married. So congratulations. And then on a sad note, I just want to send out prayers to Detective George Del Rio and the Dayton community, Dayton family, the police department, and all of those affected by this tragedy.
Okay. Mrs. Malad?
I'll just echo much of what Mary had said. And thank you, Barbie, for being willing to be here and take over for me as I sail off into the band mom sunset, I guess. And on that note, please send good wishes to our band members as they compete for their final couple competitions here. Their season is drawing to a close, so we're very excited for them. They've had a good run. They'll be at Kings High School this weekend, and then going to Grand Nationals in Indy on Thursday, so we're very excited they get to go do that. So please send your best wishes with them for a great performance.
Okay. Mr. Browning?
Okay. Just wanted to comment, the fall sports season obviously is wrapped up, and it was fun watching our kids compete in all the different sports. And what I saw, independent of records, was our kids never gave up in any of the games that they were involved with. And to me, that's huge in terms of teaching our kids to persevere. I went to the first annual Spooky Band concert on October 28th, and it was a neat concert. It's the first time that John Goretta's done that, and not only was the music centered around Halloween and stuff, but the lighting was too, and it was one of the first times I've seen us really use the lighting, the new lighting in the auditorium, and it was a really cool setting with all the kids and all the lighting. Then the next night was the fall orchestra, and that was middle school, high school, and it's still amazing to me to look at the progress that they make going through middle school, then going into high school, and some of the music that they can play by the time they get to high school. A couple things coming up. Katie mentioned the 2 band competitions. If anybody can make it to King's on Saturday, it's at 4:15, followed by the awards. And it may be cold, but I think our band's going to be awesome there. And then the BOA is on Thursday. And then finally, the Magic Kingdom Breakfast is coming up on November 23rd. It's in the Commons from 9 to 11. And that is one of the coolest things for somebody that's never been to it, because, you know, all the high school kids are dressed up as princes and princesses and their favorite characters, and all the kids come in their costumes. And it's pretty cool seeing the small princess and the big princess, you know, getting pictures taken together and all the activities. So it's really a worthwhile event for everybody to come to. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Well, I've attended the Mr. Philo's financial committee that he has with community members and parents and so forth, going over letting the community know our situation and financially, which is in excellent shape. Always get good questions from the members of the community. Attended the community visioning session for what the next steps are for the high school and middle school, and the first one I attended was quite interesting because it was the Baker Middle School students, and they certainly didn't pull any punches about the condition of that building. And then following was for the community members. Also want to congratulate Mr. Browning, Mr. McCourt, and Barb Blandino on their election to the board, and also the city council members, new city council members, Clint Allen, Kevin Knepp, and Tana Stanton. And for those of you who think your votes don't count in these elections, all you need to do is look over at Trotwood. There's a margin of 2 votes for the mayor. And down in our neighboring state in Kentucky with a very tight race for governor. So elections are important, and they have an impact on your community. So exercise the privilege whenever you can. I also want to thank the board office for the lovely flower arrangement that they sent to my wife while she is recovering from her hip surgery. So I have a card here, and Mr. Lally, if you would be kind enough to pass that around. And that's it for me. So we will move on to the recognition of visitors and comments. If there's anyone that wishes to address the board, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address, your reason for addressing the board. Limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anyone? Okay, seeing no one, we'll close recognition of visitors and move on to school district presentations. Mr. Lally.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Board President and board members. We have a few presentations tonight. Up first is Rachel McKinney from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base to talk to us about the Air Force Marathon and community engagement.
Yeah.
Thank you all for letting me come in tonight and just speak to you for a few minutes. As he said, I'm with the Air Force Marathon. So if you're not familiar with that event, it does take place in September every year. It is a 15,000 roughly participant event, and we are looking to do more engagement with Fairborn. As of course we have, if you're not familiar with it, something called the Fairborn Fly Zone, which is the runners actually go through downtown Fairborn as part of the course, and that's miles 14 and 15. And so what we're looking to do, and this is part of my role with the Marathon Office, my title, I should have prefaced by saying this, is the events manager. And so what I do is I oversee the expo, the pasta dinner, the breakfast, and community engagement events, which is new to the role and our staff. And so I asked if I could come speak with you all tonight because we would really have an interest in getting a little bit more involved with Fairborn City Schools. This is a new idea for us, and it would be as well for Fairborn City Schools, so it would be a compilation of ideas and conversations for what that would look like. But some of the ideas that we have that we would like to propose to work with Fairborn City Schools would be to introduce a program potentially in the middle school, although if there was a better location or age for that, we're absolutely open to knowing that from the school system. And introduce in March a 10-week program to work with students in the middle school. We this year will actually be introducing a new event in May. This is going to be brand new for the Air Force Marathon. It's going to be called the Memorial Mile. And so potentially what we would like to do is work with Fairborn City Schools and bring kids into participating with that Memorial Mile. 1 mile is pretty feasible for anybody to participate in, really. But we would like to really engage with the kids and teach them a little bit about fitness, about running, about, training tips and things along those lines. And so what we would propose would be working with potentially like the PE class there in the middle school, and we would help develop a program, and then as the marathon staff come in once a week or twice a week, depending on how that program would look in the school, and work with the PE teacher, the kids, and teaching those training skills. And then along the way, the kids that would have a lot of interest in it, we would be opening up scholarships for kids to apply for to participate in that mile at no cost. It would be a review that we would like to work on with the board, the school system, as to what that the requirements of that scholarship would be, but that's our proposed idea in moving in towards that program, and then just opening up the engagement with the schools, and then, hopefully as we continue moving forward, being able to do some more things. So that would be what we would like to do, and that's why I'm here tonight to kind of talk to you guys about that. And the other thing is, just to put out there for some ideas, we have a warehouse full of supplies. So first of all, when Fairborn City Schools has events, we can absolutely make no promises, but we have things that we can sometimes lend out if you need help with something. And an example would be even, we have, I don't know if this is things that the schools can use, but we have ribbons here. I mean, it says Air Force Marathon, but we've got different colors from different years, and they're just sitting in our warehouse. So like if art classes or if you had any need for that here in the school, we have these things, and we don't know what to do with them. So if you guys have ideas, we would love to give those to your school to be able to use for whatever. And we also have lots of plastic bags like these, like drawstring bags. Now they do say Air Force Marathon on them, but if there would be a need that the school would have for things like that, we have these types of items as well. So that pretty well sums up what I would like to share this evening, and and hopefully we can engage in some of these ideas together. We're really excited about trying to be more invested in the community. We've been here a long time, and we've never been able to have something going with the school system. We have the fly zone, but we want to try to open that up and do more broaden the scope of what we're doing in the community. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. McKinney. Next up from the primary school, Vicki or Mrs. Hutable, do you want to go? I don't see Mrs. Corona. Oh, she's coming in now? She's here now. Okay. Yes. Next up is Mrs. Hutable and Maria Hudson to talk about Socktober. And here we have a number of students from the primary.
As Mr. Lawley said, I'm Mrs. Hutable, I'm the principal at the primary school. And with me tonight is Miss Hudson, and she is one of our third grade teachers. And I have a group of other friends. We're going to let them all introduce themselves. And start it. Oh, you want us to do the mic? We do this.
My name is Connor. My name is Emily. My name is Lauren.
My name is Annie.
My name is Chloe.
My name is Macy.
My name is Leah. My name is Ava.
My name is Eric.
My name is William.
All right, so those are our friends that joined us, but we have lots more that have worked with us for Socktober. So we're going to show you a little bit about what Socktober is all about. Guys, come this way so that we're out of the cab. You can see if I can get this to work without messing it up. You know, at the primary school, we like to have fun, and sometimes we don't always know how things work, though.
I love Kid President.
My name is Kid President, and I'm on a mission to make the world more awesome. My decorations that work so hard. Is the one thing I want to private today? Is to be a friend tripping on your daughter? And someone throws socks at your head? Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Rock, roll, and oh yeah. But what's happening? Why is October? Good question. Because it's awesome. Next question. But why are you doing something? Even better question. September was started 5 years ago from my brother's grave. You found out there's some that were homeless. You found out that homeless person was working for so you can stay warm and stuff. Every year, growing and growing. It's awesome. The first year, a few hundred people did in Tennessee. Next year, a few 100 people did. Third year, thousands of people did it. Last year, millions of people did it. Even government subsidies to shut down. So, you may be asking, how do I start? Number one, start a sock shop. Number two, get your friends involved. Number three, spread the word. Number four, donate those socks. Become a new sock. You can also gather other babies. Just find out what your local shelter needs. And help finding your shelter near you. Go to happysocktober.com. There's links to a homeless shelter directory in there. Mom, make it happen. This is the awesome way to do something cool with your friends. You can have your family help, your school, your business, or your next door neighbors, whoever. Go to #October. And stay tuned because we're going to be sharing a story. Soon wants to be 3 billion people part of October. That seems crazy, but we can do it. I know. I want to be 30 million people. Who? That's the smallest act of love in the world. Now we need to start talking. That can make a big difference. Almost 600,000 people in one city. Some of them are kids. That is not okay. Now, it's time to get the ribbon to declare that it's October. Officially. I declare October officially open. You guys all said them, I make it happen.
So this video was used last year also, and it spurred some really cool things that happened at the primary school. And then this year, this group of friends, they not only work hard every day, but they also have fun. But the biggest thing is they like helping people. So I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Hudson because she's going to tell you what we did and what great things are happening there.
Okay, so in third grade, as part of our government unit, we are learning that individuals can make a community a better place by solving problems in a way that promotes common good. And after watching the video with Kid President, our class kind of made the connection that some of those people that were included in the 600,000 who might be homeless every night might even be some of their classmates. And so they thought that it would be helpful to do this act of love by doing Socktober and creating a plan to collect socks for our own school community. So they made a plan on how they would like to collect the socks, and they decided that we should put a bin at the end of each hallway and one at the right campus, and that students could bring the socks in on their way to class in the mornings. And we did that for the last week of October, and 5 days. And in those 5 days, our students donated 606 pairs of socks.
That's incredible.
The group then organized everything after they counted them, and they were given to Bristol Wells this morning to give out to families. And they weren't just kiddo socks, they were adult socks also.
That's awesome.
That's really great.
Good job, kids.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, before you guys leave, thank you for what you've done. And I just wanted to say to everybody, you know, there's a lot of work that goes on in the district, but right here standing is what it's all about. So thank you, kids, for what you've done.
Good job, guys.
I think Pam wants a picture with them. Pam wants a picture with them.
Terry.
Stay up there, please.
Don't leave. We want a picture
Can
with
we get
you
a
guys.
picture with you?
Isn't that awesome?
Huh?
Here, we're going to move over here in front. Where? Right here in front.
My tears off.
I know, you got me in the feels.
Okay, you need to face her. Let me slink in behind her. There you go. Okay, balance it out.
Ready?
Everybody good?
High five.
Awesome job, guys. Great job.
Good job.
Our next presentation is by our Director of Student Services, Mr. Gary Walker, on the 2019 Ohio Pbis Awards.
You're just trying to get extra steps in, Mr. Walker.
One of the requirements we have in schools are to put forth efforts for PBIS, which stands for Positive Intervention Strategies. Part of that program is to help do more positive things for kids within the school in teaching them positive responses with behaviors and interactions with adults and with kids. The other part of that comes with the other part of it. The other part of it deals with reduction of suspensions in schools. If we look at our primary grades K through 3, we have new requirements of when we can suspend and when we can't, so we have to be putting in more positive interventions for students. Within that, the state puts out an award system for those schools that are doing good things with PBIS, or positive behavior interventions. I am glad to say that 2 years ago, our Baker Middle School won the Bronze Award. And to get that award, there are 3 levels of interventions that you do within a school. The first level to get the bronze is to make sure that you are doing interventions on what we would call Tier 1. And that is, with most of your kids, improving positive interventions that you do with kids. So 2 years ago, Baker Middle School got the Bronze Award, and we are glad that this year they have won the Silver Award. To get the Silver Award, you have to do more Tier 2 interventions, which means you go to a higher level of students that are still having difficulty with some of the positive interactions with students and staff. You would use different strategies with them. Within that, Baker built some strategies that allowed them to get the Silver Award. They will be awarded that at Sinclair Community College on November 13th, next week at 2:30. So we're very pleased with that. We are also pleased to add that our Fairborn Primary School and our Fairborn Intermediate School have become recipients of the Bronze Award. So they have completed the activities necessary to get that award in our Tier 1 intervention. So we're very pleased with the success of Fairborn City Schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Next is Mr. Jeff Patrick, Director of Operations, to give us a construction update.
I'm here to give you a little update about the new Fairborn Primary School and the new intermediate school that's going to be built. At the Fairborn Primary School, last week we ran the gas line, which is a good thing if you've looked ahead to next week's weather, and I think 27 degrees is the high on Tuesday. So the gas line has been ran to that. We are putting the meter in place and should be able to turn the gas line on to work inside within the next few weeks, which will be a great help. We are also in the process of bidding out the furniture. We've had furniture meetings the last 3-4 weeks with teachers and staff members at the primary school. That furniture bid will go out sometime after the first of the year. We hope to be able to place some of that furniture in that new primary school sometime in May. As far as the move-in date goes, our move-in date that we can put boxes into that building is June the 15th, and that still holds true. So we have about 6 weeks to move right campus into that new building, the old primary school into the new building, and then we will move the intermediate school into the old 5 Points building. So it's going to be a very interesting summer, but everything is on schedule. There's been some delays, but I feel pretty confident with where we're at this point in time. And we have also then secured a moving company that will help us make all those moves. So that will help us tremendously. Then for the primary or the intermediate school, we will be placing the bids for that building. Our first bid will go out November the 25th. The bids will run again on December the 2nd, and then we'll run again on December the 9th. Then we'll open bids for the new intermediate school on December 20th. So not that far away, so that's exciting. So a lot of good things going on, and we've also have a couple big items that Mr. Philo and Mr. Lawley will be talking about moving forward with the middle school and high school. Any questions?
No question, just a comment. I drove by the new building, and it's nice to see the brick up with the decoration, or the striping and the brick colors and things.
You got the bricks going up, some of the windows are going in, and it's starting to look like a school. And so it's really exciting. And for you guys, when you're out on recess, you get to see the crane moving and all the trucks and everything else. And you guys' face pushed against the fence looking in, that's a good thing. That's all exciting. So it's neat to see all that big equipment happening. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact the board office. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
I guess we'll go on with the agenda and come back, see what time it is.
Normally at this time, this is the end of the public presentations and stuff, but the next item on the agenda is a very important item for the future of Fairborn City Schools. So I think it would be,
Are we skipping Linda?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she needs,
Yeah.
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 All right.
Okay.
so,
I just want to make sure.
so I think it would be interesting for the young people to see and listen to this, because it is not very often that school districts take action on these type of items. So item 9 under the budget and finance, we have some ordinary things that are on this item, but we also have a resolution to participate in the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission Expedited Local Partnership Program, where the state provides money for helping districts out building new schools. And we also have an option to purchase some land to build the new schools. And this is a pretty rare occurrence for a school district to put an option on land. And over the past couple of years, we have been meeting with people, talking amongst the community, evaluating how much land we need. We've explored several different possibilities. When you build a new school, you have to build it within the district boundaries, which is, a pretty sensible thing. We have a strong desire to build within the city limits of Fairborn. We could build in Bath Township if that were a feasibility, which we don't feel it really is. Plus, there's not any land available out there right now for us. We looked at some of the former property owned by the cement company along Trebine Avenue, and Mr. McCourt, with his longtime business relationship with the cement companies, approached them, and they are not interested at this time turning loose of any of that property. We talked to the city about potentially using part of the park to expand this facility here, and that had a lot of red tape and stuff involved in it. It would take quite a bit of legal wrangling to try to get waivers on conditions on the deeds on that. So we have finally come to a piece of property along Commerce Center Boulevard. It's currently owned by Obers, and we've, with the skill of Mr. Lally and Mr. Philo and probably several others in the board office, we've negotiated, had the property appraised and negotiated a deal with that is approximately 1/3 less than the appraised value of the property. So the resolution is to purchase this piece of property, or an option to purchase this piece of property, contingent on us passing the bond issue to be able to get the money to actually build on the property. So, so that's on there. If there's any of the other board members that want to chime in on.
Yeah, I just want to add, Andy was talking about it being along Commerce Boulevard. It's property that's visible from 675. So if you think about a vision for the city and for Fairborn, imagine, people not from Fairborn driving on 675 and seeing, new school buildings along 675, and how that would also help the perception of the city. So it's a nice piece of property, and like Andy said, we've got an option on it contingent on the approval of the bond.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to understand that, when I have these discussions with my husband or with my friends about, where are you going to build this? You have to understand that the state of Ohio has requirements about size. Every school building must be put on a property that's so big. And unfortunately, the city of Fairborn is very, very short on properties that are of the size that we would need to build a middle school, high school type property. So when you're having these conversations out in the community and talking to your friends about it, try to remind people that there are very few properties left to even begin to think about working with. So we're very fortunate that this property was available and that they're willing to do this kind of deal with us to, contingent upon the bond issue passing. So that's a really, really great thing that we've, a situation that we've stumbled into and worked hard to achieve. So, so just little bits to share with people.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing, then if Mary wants to say something, sorry. We keep talking about middle school, high school together. We're getting continual feedback from the community, at least in all the sessions we've had, that that's what the community wants. So we're trying to listen and we're trying to do what the community wants. Now we just have to figure out the plan to execute that. But that's why we keep talking about middle school, high school, because we keep getting that feedback from the community that that's what they want.
That being said, we do have community forums that we would really love for you guys to participate in, show up, talk to your neighbors, your friends, have them show up, be a part of the conversation and understand, because we are talking about a lot of money on paper, but ideally, what does it do for not only our community, our city as a whole, but what does it do for our students, our future for our community, what we're putting out into the world. So make sure that you take a look at when those community events are and be a part of the conversation.
Yeah, this is an option on just over 86 acres of property, and by the time the students here get to high school, hopefully there will be a brand new high school for them to attend. So.
And if I could just say, I believe we have not set the exact date, but there will be another community forum in January, and we will put the information out on that as December moves along, comes in, and we will communicate that, because the more input that we get, the better from everyone. So, okay.
Okay. Having said all of that, how about a motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you, Mr. Browning.
Oh.
Thank you, Ms. Reister.
She beat me to it.
Quick on the draw tonight. Good job, Mary.
Thanks.
Mr. Browning,
Yes.
Ms. Reister,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Absolutely, yes. Motion carries. So now that we've done that, the rest of the meeting is
Very, very boring.
Yes, rather dull. So if those that you can certainly stay if you want to see what a board meeting is all about, but you may also, we'll take a little bit of a break for those that want to leave and
My spirit animal over here.
make your proper bedtime, do your homework, whatever it is that you need to do. So.
Are the kids staying for the primary night?
If there's something going on that she's not here yet.
Are her
Yeah,
people
we need
here?
to stall. No, we're gonna have
Hey.
to stall a little bit.
Thank all of you. Thank you for coming tonight.
Yes, thanks guys for
Thank
your
you.
awesome work.
They're so cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Huh? She's leaving. She's had enough. She's tired of us.
Should we check with her? Should we check with
What?
Linda and see how many people she's waiting on?
Yeah.
Stupor?
Go check with Linda, see how much longer she
Hey, let's find out how many people Linda's.
Put it in and then I'll read it later. She's writing her book.
No. Boy, did it get out.
What?
Andy, you ran them all off.
You said that's really boring.
Yeah, way to
We
go.
can have
It's
to
true.
separate you two.
Did I say anything not?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll wait.
What time have we got? 6. We want to run through the rest of
And
it.
if you want to do the rest of it, then we can do
Okay.
a little bit of work
Yeah.
session.
Yeah.
Like how
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to item 10, administrative reports and superintendent recommendations. This runs through page 5 of the agenda. On page 4, we have a retirement. Diane Waldo, a 4th grade teacher at Fairborn Intermediate School, 21 years in education and 12 years of Fairborn. So we'll have a resolution of tribute for her service in education. And we have also gifts and donations on page 5. Ms. Reister?
The board would like to thank Scholastic for the 17 books that they have donated to the libraries and media centers at Fairborn Intermediate School, Baker Middle School, and Fairborn High School.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Reister.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Browning.
I was trying to find the page we're on.
Ms. Reister.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, motion carries. Okay.
We'll have a short work session here while we're waiting for a couple other students. As you know, next week is the Ohio School Board Association Conference. It starts Sunday through Tuesday. So just wanted to talk about in terms of who's planning on going and what days. Andy?
Probably just Monday.
Just Monday?
I'm probably going Sunday.
You're gonna go up Sunday?
I'm not attending this year.
Okay.
Are you going?
All right. Did we give you a agenda?
Packet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I
It
would-
does, for a
Yeah.
first-year member, absolutely
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense, yes.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
there'll
we
be,
will
there'll be more
suck
for
it
you,
in.
more for you to take in than
Yes.
you'll be.
So Barbara, if you can stop by the office tomorrow, and we'll make sure we have you registered, and that way when you get up there Sunday, you're all signed in, so.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity.
You'll get a little tag on your thing that says, board member elect. You save that one, yeah.
Andy, what day you're going up? Monday?
Monday.
Monday? So we might schedule a lunch on Monday,
Okay.
not schedule lunch on Sunday.
That's
here,
okay.
so.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's it.
Okay.
In terms of
All right.
that.
Okay.
We should thank, or not thank, but congratulate Tammy Bartley, too, for, she got elected to Xenia's board, right? So, first grade teacher here.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
Great.
fun.
her world's about to be rocked. That'll be fun.
Well, that's only fair. We had a board member that was a teacher at Xenia.
Yes.
That was a board member here that was
That's
a
right.
teacher at Xenia.
That's
So
right.
when I first came on board, so.
Yes.
Well, while we're waiting, I will tell you, our girls at Fairborn Primary, our third grade girls on the run, we have our 5K coming up. And we had our practice 5K last night, and we had 2 young ladies roughly run it under 35 minutes.
Wow.
We were out there trying to run with them. We are running on the 17th at Welcome Stadium, and we have 14 young ladies that have run through the program, and we have 2 coaches
Wow.
with them as well. So hopefully the weather will be nice for us. We're okay if it's cold as long as it's not raining, but we will be running that Sunday morning as well. So
Does that conclude your experience then with Girls on the Run for the
fall.
for the
Do it
fall?
again in the
Do it again. Okay. I was just wondering,
What
like,
time
do
is
you
it?
want to be marathon participants?
The actual run starts at 10.
Okay.
The girls can arrive at 9, and they have a bunch of team building activities that they can do. They can paint their hair, they can do ribbon things for their shoes, all kinds of fun little things. And then at 10 till 10, they have a great big thing out in the middle of the football the stadium where we do warm-ups. And then at 10 o'clock, the race is off, and they run, and they have little, what do you call it, markers.
The chips
Yeah.
on there, yeah.
So every girl has a running buddy, and then they
So
run
cute.
through the 5K course, and then when they come back in, their big faces on the big screen, and every girl gets a medal. So
Cool.
it's a nice thing. It's really fun. It's a great opportunity.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
I think I'm standing in the field this year. We're back up.
Hopefully the weather's good.
Are you a buddy?
Yes, and I'm signed up in case I have to be, but I try to be at the end since I've kind of been with the coaches and the liaison
Yeah.
for our group. But it's a great opportunity.
Cool.
And we'll be back in the spring.
And I'm sorry, you said you had how many students?
We have 14 girls. You can
14.
only have 15.
Okay.
Because they like to keep it small because then they have lessons that talk about character education. So they figure if you get more than 15, it kind of lose the.
So what would happen if you had more kids that
We
want
have
to?
a waiting list unless we
Okay.
have more coaches because you're required to have 2 coaches.
Okay.
Right now, we had 15 and we did not have any on the waiting list. I was prepared to, which is why I'm signed up as a coach, I was prepared to be down as the coach as well. That way we could take an extra kids on
Right.
with us. I know in the spring, the intermediate, I believe last year had 2 teams.
Yeah, we had 2 seniors and 30 kids.
They had, yes. So we were,
Hmm.
we can always add more coaches, but, you have to have a minimum of 8 and then 15 is the max.
Okay. Cool.
Is the intermediate running this too?
They run in the spring.
They do the spring,
Yes,
okay.
they do the spring.
All right.
And it is
Awesome.
for 3rd grade. So I have been plugging really hard. I do a lot for the girls on the run. And I'm trying, we've heard in the wings that they're piloting a 2nd grade program.
Ooh.
And we will take it.
Yeah.
And then next year when we become a pre-K2, our building, the primary,
Yeah.
would be
Okay.
the girls on the run, but they can do it at the intermediate.
Right.
So I've said, we'll pilot.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's ready for the fall, but we're hoping.
Okay.
That's great.
Awesome.
Fun thing to do.
That's neat.
All right. 6:47.
This has to be really exciting for anybody watching it on.
I know.
Hey, Emily, should we turn the camera off?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. As we have take a 10-minute commercial break.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Doing their usual hospitality thing.
I think so on
Monday.
I think so on Monday. Check with Jeff.
Okay.
I'm not going to stay over. I'm just going to have dinner with my son on Monday, so I'm not going to stay over.
I love
Jeff-
when the little people come to visit us.
Yeah, I know, it is neat.
Oh, Josiah's sister.
All
Look
right.
how cute they are. Oh, I love it.
Okay, our final presentation, we have some more of Fairborn's finest students. From the primary, we have Mrs. Carone to give a presentation with her students about family night.
For the folks at home.
Yeah.
Hi, we are students from Fairborn Primary School. My name is Ava Miller. My name is Mackenzie Scott. My name is Dorian Wiggins. Every year, we welcome families of Fairborn Primary School to do some fun learning activities with the teachers. This year, family night will be on Thursday, December 12th. It's from 6 to 8 in the evening. We have a bunch of fun activities, such as a book walk, word bingo, a math game, people reading books to us, and a book that we actually get to make and keep home. We also get to see Olaf and the Grinch.
we have a very special guest from the North Pole, Santa. At many of our stations, we get an activity to take home. The teachers are there to talk to our parents about how they can help us at home. With the take-home activities, students have the opportunity to win a free book at the book walk and word bingo. At the top of it, and to top it off, we even get a free cookie from Santa's helpers. We would like to invite you on December 12th, 6 to 8 to family night. Hope to see you there.
Should we take a picture with you? Yeah. Pictures.
Pictures.
Up there?
Come this way, we're going to do pictures over here.
You want to organize them?
Nope, I'm just
Oh.
She was willing to go.
This is also one of our runners. I was telling them how we ran last night.
Are you one of the fast ones?
She's pretty fast.
Your brother's fast. Your brother's fast. I know that.
Good job, guys. Good job. I'm reading about taunting scores and dancing with the dead back. All right, is it time for the fun part?
Mr. President, item 11, it's recommended to move into executive session for the specified purpose of the appointment, employment, discipline, or compensation of public employees.
Okay, I have a motion.
So
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Malad.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Browning.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes.
Ms. Reister.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, motion carries. We are now in executive session. We don't anticipate any action, so anybody that wishes to leave may do so. The only thing we have after executive session is adjournment of the meeting, so,
We'll have a short work session.
and a short work session.
Yeah.